We got it. Now it is streaming on YouTube. Wonderful. Let me just okay, everybody. There we go. All right, wonderful. So, welcome to everyone for today's Saturday session. Today, we don't have a particular topic. And so, when that happens, anybody has a question regarding their life, their journey, you can simply ask me, you can stop me and ask me, you can go audio, or you can put it down on the chat. And when you do so, I'll be simply looking at the chat or chatting with you, talking with you, and then we'll talk through your journey and whatever it is that you are facing. So even before we start, while you take a while to think up of all the issues that you want to talk to me about, I wanted to talk to you about something. What do you do when people in a relationship lie to you? What do you do? Each time, so this is something that was being discussed at length today in one of the groups that I'm in, and somebody was asking, what do you do? Somebody in front of me, somebody in a relationship with me is constantly lying to me, and what do you do? And here it is, and then when we look at the journey inwards, and I always tell everybody that the work is within. The work is within. No matter what, the work is within. So when something like this happens, people get really confused. But I'm not the one lying. Somebody else is lying to me. How can you say that the work is on me? I trusted them. I put all my trust on them. I wanted to, I wanted this perfect relationship. I put so much into the relationship. And now that person has been caught lying once, twice, a dozen number of times. Okay, what do you do? Even here, I just simply say to people, the work is within. Now, breaking that part into what is the work within. Firstly, the very fact that you have attracted this person in your energy space. It is your energy vibration which is matching with this other person's energy vibration. And for that reason, they are here in your space. If somebody doesn't match with our vibration, they cannot be there. But the very fact that they exist in your energy space, it means it's a vibrational match. Okay. So now that it's a vibrational match, taking a look at the other thing that I say, or at least the one that I understand, is that the universe is simply going to bring you your vibration back at you. So if you are holding some vibration and there's a person out there who's showing you that vibration that you are holding, then they will keep bringing to you your energy. Please take a look. This is your energy. Please take a look. This is your energy. You don't want to take a look. You say, no, no, I'm not the one who lies. They are the one who's lying. And I say to people all the time, the very fact that you're looking outside, putting the blame on somebody outside, that's just a lie. That's just a lie. Because in your universe, the minute you understand that you are energy, you are not just this body alone. The minute you can comprehend that you, just like everything else in the universe, you too are energy, then you will not be living this limiting lie. It's a limiting lie that no, I am this person and I am not that person. That person is not my reflection. What have you lied to yourself about? A dozen things, including this one, that you and that person are separate. You are energy and that person is energy too. You are Shiva, the creator of your own universe, and that person is Shiva too, the creator of their own universe. If the two of you were simply coexisting and not getting triggered by each other, I would just say there is no work that remains on you. But if you are getting triggered with somebody else's lies, then you have to look within. What is it? What is it that is bothering you about that lie? What is actually bothering you about that lie? Go a little bit deeper. I trusted them. I shouldn't have. I trusted this person. I shouldn't have trusted them. Now you're simply going from trust to mistrust. Is that where the journey is? Is separation going to give you a better experience? As a matter of fact, if you keep going more and more in separation, yes, in this moment you feel the separation. But if you keep sitting more and more in separation, if you sit with more energy of mistrust, this is already manifested. But from this event, if you create more intense mistrust, then guess what is going to come from outside to you? Even more, even more. The minute you understand that the universe is comprising of your energy and its reflections, then the minute we sit in more mistrust, that is exactly what we will be attracting more of. The universe is made up of all kinds of frequencies. Who are the people that you are going to attract in your universe? The one that resonate at your frequency. So the more we think of, okay, I shouldn't have trusted, it sounds like the right thing to do. You trust somebody, they break your trust. Then what should you do? Should you trust them more? No, of course not. You should not trust them. You should not trust people like them. That sounds so logical. Of course, it sounds logical, but in this case, the eyes are looking outwards at that person. If you keep handing over your joy, your trust to outside people, I will only trust those people who will resonate at this frequency of trust and they will bring it to me. Now you are putting all the power on the outside. You're actually simply giving away the power that you hold, the power to create your own frequency choice. What frequency am I going to sit in when this happens outside of me? Whatever has happened is a manifestation. You can keep looking outside at the manifestation and keep feeling bad. The more you stay in that, the more your eyes look outside, the more of the same experience, even more intense, even more intense. That's what going to keep getting created. Many people come to me with repeat patterns. Like, why is it that somebody always does to me? Why is it that I only meet these kind of people? It's that you feel that you're only meeting those kind of people, no matter how hard you search outside. But guess what you're taking with you along at all times, no matter where you go? What you're taking with you is your energy. Whoever you find, no matter how they look like on the outside, but they are ones who are resonating at your frequency. They're bound to become reflections of yours. They're bound to show you the energy that you carry. So this time around, take a look as you manifest something, as an outside person speaks another lie to you. This time, look inside and see, how many lies do I speak to myself? Do I still think of myself as the helpless one? Well, that's a lie, because you're as helpless as you're powerful. That's a lie too. So whichever part you sit in, wherever you sit in, whichever frequency you are sitting, what is a lie, the other side is going to be the truth. When you sit in something that's your truth, the other side is going to be a lie. If I say I am powerful, then in that moment, I am helpless becomes a lie for me. But is anything a truth or a lie? No, it's just each one's own reality. Your lie is your reality, then so be it. If you think you are powerless, I could be sitting right opposite you and saying, no, no, you are powerful. You are the most powerful being. But till you come into my frequency, you will not be able to see what is it that I mean by that. Or till I come into your frequency, I will not be able to see what I mean by your truth, which is, I am so helpless. So no matter where we sit, there will always be this opposite side, which will sound like a lie to us. So letting go of these judgments of whether it's a lie for me or it's a truth for me, but simply, is this separation working for me? Coming from separation, coming from mistrust, is this going to work more and more in my favor? Or is this going to be a limiting program? The program for us, the end program for us, is the recognition that we are the creator. I am Shiva. That is the ultimate truth, that in each moment, no matter what frequency I sit in, I am the creator of my every moment in my life. And as I look at that, I'm the creator, I'm the creator. I can sit in that space all the time. I will recognize that outside as well, everybody is coming from a space of creation. Somebody is creating from helplessness, somebody is creating from deceit, somebody is creating from joy, somebody is creating from surrender. But each of us are creating our own universe. And no matter where we sit, that frequency in that moment, whatever that frequency brings the thought, that thought is the truth for us in that moment. So when you sit in oneness, oneness becomes your truth. Why do I ask you people to sit in oneness? Because the more you sit in oneness, the more you can experience your source, the source that you are. The more that you sit in oneness, you can experience how limitless you are. The more you sit in oneness, you can take all the power and bring it right back to you. The power that belongs to you is that you're able to change. You're able to change your frequency, and that will change the outside manifestations. That is your power, to change your frequency. As you look outside as a manifestation, either you can keep putting your eyes over there and saying, this one spoke that, that one spoke that, this is what is happening, this is not right, that is wrong. None of this will help you in changing your manifestation. But the minute you put your finger within and say, okay, it's my energy of mistrust which has created this. And now let's see, from this mistrust, do I wish to create more, or do I wish to move into trust? If you wish to move into trust from a place, from an event of mistrust, that's taking the power right back in your hand. And as you move towards trust, what will happen? What you are, the more of it will get reflected on the outside. How to move to trust? I have several, I've done several programs talking about the candle process, acceptance of all that is, acceptance of everybody as being the creator. So you can go through some of my old programs, but I thought that today, since this was a topic of discussion, I'll simply just bring it again, that you know what, you can keep complaining bitterly, non-bitterly, whatever it is, you can keep complaining about what's manifesting outside. But there's only one simple thing to understand, that it's your energy that creates everything in your life. The minute you get that, you can now choose to shift it or choose not to shift it. It's a choice now. You can choose to shift it by looking within. You can choose not to shift it by blaming outside. In all of these cases, the choice now becomes squarely that belongs to us. Nobody's pushing us towards one side or the other. Is this experience wrong? Is that experience wrong? Well, more trust brings more joy. That's all. More mistrust, more separation brings more sadness. And that's all. Sadness and joy are simply two different frequencies. We will get to experience each one of them in our lives. But again, I point out to everybody saying, it's just a frequency. You can shift it anytime, because everything, whether it's sadness or joy or anger or helplessness or powerfulness, underneath it all is just simply a frequency. Take a look at the frequency that you are operating from. The minute you become an observer, that's the moment that you can change. That's the moment you can change. The minute you become an observer. Till the time you are going to be in the story, you are the Arjun. The minute you become an observer, you might be in the same battlefield, but now you operate as Krishna. So that's the difference in, sitting and judging whether this is right, this is wrong. It's a battlefield every day. In the Mahabharata itself, we hear of instances where somebody had to lie to the other, somebody had to do this to the other, do that to the other. Are you going to be an observer of those lies and therefore be looking within and feel peaceful and calm within? Or are you going to be looking at every lie? When you speak it, are you going to be looking at yourself with guilt? When somebody else speaks it, are you going to be looking at them with resentment, attachment, etc., etc.? Becomes a choice. Right? Okay, so now we take a look. Nobody wants to ask me any questions today. If that's the case, okay, then people, it was lovely knowing you.
No, I have a question.
Yes.
It's Nidhi. Okay, so
Yes, Nidhi.
I have a question. Like you just spoke about people. Like in my life, it's not the people. It's an incident that keeps repeating, almost like clockwork. For the
Okay.
past 1 year, we have something going on that repeats like clockwork. It does not affect me or anybody else around me. Everybody's in musty, everybody's having fun. The
Okay.
only thing is, I am not, when I do a deep release, I am not able to go back in and see what is causing that incident to happen again and again.
Okay.
That
So
is
it's not
it.
triggering you? It's not
It's
triggering you?
not anymore. No,
Oh,
not after last year's program. No, it's not trigger. Even if it does, it just, I release it and I'm at a calm stage immediately.
okay, wonderful. If something is happening and it's not triggering you, you're out of the story. It might be happening for somebody's own creation. You know, whoever the other people are involved, I don't know what the story sounds like, but you're never the only one in a story. It might be that the event is creating itself for some other purpose, for some other people. We don't look at an event outside. We simply look at that one question: is this triggering me? Since you said already that event is not triggering you, let it go. So many things happen in the universe, right? This is happening to a universe that's closer to you, it's happening around you. And so you get to look at it all the time. But otherwise, also in our lives, so many things happen. There's things happening all around us. When we put an eye on them, now we want to figure out why this is happening, why that is happening. Instead of that, the only place where I tell you to put your finger on is, am I getting triggered? Is it bothering me? What am I feeling? So take a deeper look within. And if it's not bothering you totally, or if it bothers you only for a slightly smaller time, then even this wish for it to go away would just simply dissolve. This wish that it doesn't even happen anymore, that wish would totally dissolve if it was indeed not bothering you anymore. Is that wish still there, that it doesn't happen? Or are you okay to even let go of that wish?
I'm okay to let go of that wish.
Wonderful. So you let go of that. This shouldn't happen. This should work out in this way. Why does it happen? It's not bothering me in a very subtle way. But when we say, okay, now I'm done with the energy work. There's a lot of people who come to me like that saying, I'm done. I've done so much work on myself. This is not bothering me. Why is this still happening? Well, actually, pretty much that's your question. Why is that happening? But here it is, that if it's indeed not bothering you, if the presence of that event is not bothering you, then it wouldn't, this question also wouldn't arise.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's also true.
So somewhere a little bit of attachment to outcome might
Yeah.
be there, that when I do my energy work, then this should stop happening. So just take a look at that and let go of the outcome as well. What if that were never to change? You're already at peace. You just simply go deeper and deeper, more into your peaceful state. And then you will see that whether it happens or it doesn't happen, you will no longer be even questioning, why is it still happening? That question itself will be released when you are no longer attached to that event in any which way.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
got
a
it.
little bit more work remains, and a little bit more
It does. Yeah.
so just a tiny little probably attachment, because if you're able to work on it and it's already getting released and it doesn't bother you, you're already more than halfway. I mean, what more than
Yeah,
halfway, I would
that's,
say.
I mean, when it happened, I go look at it and I said, oh yeah, this was the attachment I still have. And this is what money is showing me, that, keep letting go of it, keep letting go of it. And it will, I mean, it is still inside. I do have some attachments
Attachment to
that
outcome.
he,
Yes,
that he is making sure I let go of. Like,
that
it's, yeah,
that's
it's like,
exactly right. That's exactly right. And it
yes,
happens even in the smallest of things. Again, if I was to take like the previous example we were talking about, that somebody is lying to me or somebody's lying to somebody else, that was the topic today. That let's say if somebody is lying to me and I'm looking and I'm releasing it, I'm releasing. And then I can be thinking of it, okay, I've done all my releases. Why is this person still in my life? But if that person is still in my life or that event is still happening, that means that the work is still remaining. Yeah. If I stop getting triggered altogether, I wouldn't even be asking this question, why is this person in my life? Because then I wouldn't be triggered, right? If they continue to be in my life or not in my life, I wouldn't be triggered. So whatever judgments, whatever attachment to outcomes we still have, we take a little bit more deeper look, and
yeah,
then we are able to release. That's what.
yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's always about taking a deeper look within. It's always just that. We have layers and layers. We can do so much work. And that's why I tell people, if people think that, okay, Meenal's been doing, okay, I'll have to, okay, I got to see who's talking. Dwayne, please mute. Okay, I'm muting, but stay muted. Okay, Dwayne. Okay. All right. So yeah, the work, and I almost always remind people that the work is every single day. If you think that there is an enlightened moment and then from that point onwards on that topic nothing is ever going to come up, no. It's we live in frequencies. When we tune into that frequency again, something will show up at another layer. What do we do then? People expect that every time they come to me I should give them a different answer. Oh, you worked on it 50 times. Okay, great. Now you're coming for the 51st time. All right, here's a different answer. I don't have a different answer. I just simply will keep telling you, take a deeper look. But then take a deeper look. There is something still remaining that you need to look at and you need to release. You need to accept that this is just a frequency. You've tuned into it. If you've tuned into it, if it's triggering you, then definitely the work still remains on you. It remains on me all the time. And I always say, no matter what the conversations are, whether you ask me a question or somebody else is just simply asking a question, I'm always looking at it and saying, okay, does it pertain to me in any which way? Can I take this learning that I'm giving to the other person and can I make it my learning? Can I think about it? Can I see how it is relevant for me? What do I need to release? And the more I do that, the more empty I become. And then I find very quickly that, yes, I've moved a few more ways into my limitlessness. The limitlessness shows up as miracles all the time. That's what we think of as miracles, but it's just simply how much ever we work within, the more empty we become, the more we become that frequency from where these instant manifestations of miracles happen. So, there is nothing else. It's not a separate place that you got to go and manifest this, you got to go and manifest that. I actually tell people, take your eyes off the manifestations. Simply put your focus on your frequency. Simply put all the fingers within and keep doing the releases. Keep looking within and saying, okay, where all am I judging? What am I expecting? Where do I have my finger into attachments? What am I experiencing? And simply keep clearing your pot. You get to this fabulous energy space of blankness. And that's the place where all the manifestations, the instant manifestations of miracles happen. Okay.
Thank you.
So somebody says, oh, wonderful. Oh, yeah, I answered you a long time ago. Then I went into my own mono launch. Okay, so somebody says, I was seeing a past webinar on disease and wanted to ask, what if a disease health issue is keeping you away from doing releases in terms of low energy? Low energy, high energy, there is no such thing as low energy. When you feel that you are low energy, when you think that you don't have enough energy, what are you feeling? So let me tell you that most of the times when I go into what you might think of as low energy, when I go into that space, I can actually almost see that my old energy is moving out and a new higher frequency is coming in, and in between that space I feel very lethargic. I actually just, I will sleep it off, I will not do anything, but yes, I will do one thing, and I will be in gratitude. I will not be in fear. What's happening? What am I to do? Why is this not happening? Why is that not? What is this disease here to show me? Most of the times, and sometimes I tell people, I'm constantly reminding them that our body is so beautiful. It knows everything that needs to be known. Everything, all the healing is within us. Every intelligence is within us. And that's how our body got created. It got perfectly matched to the vibration we are. Everything inside the womb, with no doctor's help, everything in our body was created perfectly and brought out. And so let the body heal itself. But as the body heals, you're feeling low energy, sleep it off. But before you do that, be in awareness. What am I experiencing? Are you feeling fear? Oh my God, I was just sick last month. Why am I sick again? Why am I constantly falling sick? The whys don't have an answer. You need to rest. Your body will make it happen for you. If you need to be in a high energy game, your body will make it happen to you. If you need to be in a flight, your body will put you into that flight. So just trusting our body implicitly and knowing that the body knows what it is doing. If it wants you to rest, rest and thank the body. The body will keep rejuvenating itself. But when we don't pay attention to the emotional baggage that we attach to it, the emotions being, okay, why am I falling sick again? Oh God, I'm constantly falling sick. I hope nothing is wrong with me. That person had this problem and the same thing happened to them. I hope that's not happening to me. Various emotions we play in. If the emotion is of fear, release the fear. If the emotion is anxiety, release the anxiety. The best emotional state to sit in, apart from blankness, is that of gratitude. So if your body is keeping you from even doing the releases, allow the body to take over. If the body demands rest, give it that rest. Just simply rest, but be in gratitude to the body. And you will find that, okay, very quickly, it happens to me, that's how my body shifts from one energy. When there's a huge drastic shift, I will go into 2 days of inaction. But while I'm in inaction, I simply keep thanking the body that, okay, you become even more ready for accepting the new frequencies that are coming in. Because I know that the amount of work that I do, my frequency changes all the time. It changes every week. It changes a few times, in months. Suddenly there'll be like a huge drastic shift. How does the drastic shift come? My body can't take it. I get huge headaches. But as I'm sitting with those huge headaches, my thoughts are not, oh, is this migraine? Do I need to do this? I simply ask money. I say, okay, what is it that I'm supposed to understand from this? Should I take a medicine? I can't deal with this anymore. Should I take a medicine? And sometimes money says yes, sometimes money says no. Whatever guidance comes to me, I follow that. Even if you take the medicine, half the times, no, I don't want to take medicine because this medicine, oh, it has all of these side effects. Now, even though you are taking something that's going to make you feel better, but what is the emotion that you're putting underneath that? You're already putting fear underneath that beautiful medicine. So even as you take the medicine, be aware of which emotion you are taking that medicine from. Be simply aware, release if that emotion is of fear, if that emotion is of anxiety, worry, guilt, whatever it might be, release that emotion. And then just simply with gratitude, take your medicine and it'll be fine. So that's what it is. If your body is asking for it, please listen to the body. It knows what it's asking for. Don't be outside, don't push yourself, simply allow. Talk to parts of the body, talk to the parts of your body. They are not just, cells with no intelligence at all. You start to have a conversation with them. I guarantee you will get answers back. You will get answers as thoughts. You will get answers as to what your body needs. They will talk to you. As you talk to each body part, as you honor each body part, you will find a lot more rested yourself. You'll find yourself to be a lot more rested, a lot more at ease. So honor this body. This body is the experiencer of all our emotions. So firstly, we honor this body itself. I hope that I gave you a decent enough answer. Low energy, high energy, it's just our judgment of what the energy looks like. Okay. Somebody asks, since my childhood, we get conditioned to teachings like, okay, I think I need my glasses. There's so much written out there. Yes. Since childhood, we get conditioned to teachings like अच्छाई की बुराई पर जीत होती है. Festivals like Vijayadashmi is symbolic to that. If there's no acha or no bura, no jeet or no har, how can one understand such ingrained teachings in terms of energy? Okay. Could you please take the example of Ram? He's my favorite one for examples, and explain what the lives of gods, festivals, etc. convey to us. Well, what they convey to us when we are young, what have we come for? We've come to experience all the judgments of achai and burai. We came to earth. हम आए ही यहाँ पर सिर्फ अच्छाई और बुराई को दोनों को जज करने के लिए. हम जजमेंट के लिए आए. हम बिना जजमेंट के लिए नहीं आए. बिना जजमेंट की जगह तो बैठे हुए थे और फिर समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कि जजमेंट क्या होता है और नॉन जजमेंट क्या होता है. क्योंकि जब हम एनर्जी होते हैं, we want to experience everything. Through the experience, our knowing grows. Through the experience, we are actually expanding not just our own understandings, but we are actually expanding the very frequency of the source itself. Each of us are tiny little components of that which we call source. That is why we are part of the source. The source is part of us. And through each experience that we are receiving, we are enriching that large energy that we call the source. We are enriching. It's not for no purpose that we have one experience after another. There is a lot of purpose to each experience. Every frequency, even if we are going to be sitting in fear and we grow the fear frequency, the frequencies are growing. Some of us will grow the fear frequency. Some of us will grow the fearless frequency. We are growing that which we call the source, because the source is the sum total. The source is not only goodness, only badness. No, that is the judgment that we make. I take this example many a times that, there are many people in freedom fights that we worship. The ones that we count as freedom fighters, another country looks at them as terrorists. They look at them as terrorists because they are the ones who created terror for them. And what did they do for us? They fought for the independence of our country. Would you define terrorists as good, or would you define them as bad? You've got now, when you are able to understand energy, now you can take a look. Now you can take a look of what does energy convey to you. You came for all of these judgments, you experienced. And now something brought you into this session. What brought you into this session? Your journey. Your journey as an experiencer of this, as an experiencer of that, as looking outside. That journey gets to an end. Then what do we have to do now? We have to understand that we are the creator. We are the ones from where everything is emanating. This energy that belongs to me is the creator of my experiences. This energy field that I am carrying is the creator of all my experiences. That power is in my hand. When I get there, then I can release those judgments. I'm only this, I'm only that. Looking outside and saying this is good, this is bad, this is ugly, this is wonderful. That had to happen because you came to experience that in the body form. You took a body form that was not purposeless. The body form is what gives us an experience of the limitedness. The body is limited, and so we get to experience our limitedness. And when the limitedness is over, now we can expand into the limitlessness. So I can talk to you about every festival, every god, but when I look at the god, I simply see that no, those stories were created so that you could experience judgment. The stories very much have a purpose, and the purpose is to make you experience judgment towards yourself. If you behave like Ram, now you're the good person. If you behave like Ravan, you are not. Ram did exactly half the same things that Ravan did, killed somebody at the back, invaded somebody else's country. When invasions happened, many deaths would have happened, which were unwarranted, but that's how life is. But still, one we consider as the hero, and the other we consider as the villain. The good, the bad, the ugly, the wonderful. Whatever it is, that's a judgment over here. So I cannot speak more about any festival as such. I can only speak about them by sitting in the body and saying, yeah, this is a chai and this is burai. But when I sit in the energy space, I see everything just is. So you want me to explain Ram in energies? Sure, he was your energy. He was my energy. You want to explain to me Ravan in energies? Sure, he was your energy. He is my energy. That's how each one of us is. Each one of us, the source. Each one of us Ram, each one of us Ravan. So that's how it looks to me when I sit in the energy space. When I look at from the body space, I will make various judgments. And whatever those judgments are, they will come from my programs, from my energy field. If I sit in, holding a few glasses of fear, if I'm wearing those lenses of fear, then all my experiences will make me look at that aspect of the story. If I sit in the energies or the energy field and I carry lenses of being a rebel, then I'm going to look at everything from the space of being a rebel. A hero won't look like a hero to me. A villain will look like a hero to me. All of these are judgments that each of us make individually because we have an energy field. We have some colored glasses that we are wearing. When it comes time to look at energies, then it's time to take those colored glasses off. When we take those colored glasses off, everything is just energy. Everyone is just energy. Every event creates emotions. Emotions are just frequencies. So then we begin to focus more on what frequency am I sitting in rather than did he do right or did he do wrong. As he did right, what is it that I'm experiencing? As he did wrong, what is it that I'm experiencing? It's all about my experience, which is created from my energy field. It's my energy field that's going to create my experience for me. When people lose something, they can be like me. I just simply look at something that, okay, something's gone away from me. It mustn't have been meant for me anymore. And that's all that I do about losing money, losing things, losing somebody. Okay, that's it. Their role is done in my life. So many people come into my life, they come here, they stay with me for months. And then one day they simply vanish. They go away. They sometimes don't even call me back. And what do I look at it? Okay, that's as much as role was there for them. And the role is over for now. If the role begins again, they might come over. If not, wherever they are, they're in a happy space. I no longer said, oh my God, how can they not call me? I looked after them so much. I did so much for them. No, I sit in the frequency of peace when something comes to me or when something goes away from me. I understand that everything outside of me has roles for me. So when something comes, I look at that role, I sit in joy. When something goes, I look at that role, I sit in joy. That something could be, an acquisition. It could be my new phone. It could be my new car. When something comes, it gives me joy. When something goes, I make sure that I'm sitting in joy. If I'm not sitting in joy, then I've got attachments. Now I got to take a look at attachments. It could be something material, it could be a person, it could be anything. But if I have attachments to it, attachments have only one link: attachments, expectations, and then hurt. So I simply look, if I'm hurting, then I will simply take a look within and release my hurt and say, I must have built an attachment somewhere. I must have built expectations somewhere. I just simply got to release them. And so when something new comes, I'm able to enjoy it for whatever it is. When something goes, I'm able to let go with thankfulness for as many years, as many months as I had my togetherness with them. Okay, then we got, that's such a beautiful state to be, equanimity every minute. Yes, indeed. And then when there is equanimity every minute, and then there is equanimity gone in that next minute. But when it goes away and the eyes are within, you recognize that, okay, I'm experiencing this emotion, and there's only one little bit work left to do, only to let go of the emotion. That's all. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to run around. I don't have to protect myself. I don't have to stop behaving the way I do. No, I trusted them so much, and look, they are gone now, and they broke my heart. If my heart broke, then the work is on me alone. If my heart broke, it's not the outside person who breaks my heart, it's my attachment to that person that breaks my heart. It's my attachment to that thing that breaks my heart. So I got to simply let go of the attachment, and I'm back to joy again. My job at all times is to make sure that I am in joy. That's my only work. And that's what our only work is. When I say it's my only work, I mean it's our only work. You and I, we are the same. We came here for the purpose, the ultimate purpose, to create joy for ourselves, not for the universe, not for the world, not for the nation, not for the society, just simply for ourselves. Each one of us recognize that you are the only person that you have to create joy for. And from that space, what will you be transmitting? How can I create joy for myself when outside in my family, everybody is so unhappy? Okay, great. Then you sit in that unhappiness as well. All of you sit and transmit that unhappiness. What are you going to be sitting in? What are you going to be transmitting? What more is going to be reflected back at you? Unhappiness. And so, if you take a look outside, okay, this is creating unhappiness, but the choice is in me to be able to let go of this and tune my dial into the frequency of joy. If I can do that, even around me, 5 people are sitting in unjoy, unhappiness, what is going to happen? You can still transmit happiness. As you transmit a little bit more of that happiness this time, what will happen? A little bit more people will catch it. You are transmitting whatever emotion you are sitting in. That's your frequency. So every time you sit in sadness, you're not the only one sitting in sadness. You're going out there and transmitting it as well. You might not see it, but that's your contribution to the world, your sadness. So then, do you want to be a contributor of that? Or do you wish to be a contributor of joy? It's simply a choice. You make that choice, that's whatever it is. The choice becomes only aware when we can separate the sadness from ourselves. Oh, it's just a frequency. It just is a frequency. That's it. I can sit here or I can sit there. I can choose to transmit joy or I can choose to transmit sadness. It's a choice that I hold when I am aware of the frequency that I'm sitting in. Seeing a little bit more. How to release doership and still execute your assignment successfully by managing a team who's not dedicated enough in a corporate setting. By managing a team that's not dedicated enough. What in your energy calls for this team that's not dedicated enough? I would say the answer is mistrust. The answer is doubt. So the doubt in your frequency will constantly bring to you a team that will create more doubt in you. The frequency of mistrust will bring to you only such teams which will be completely mistrustworthy. So it's your energy that's got you into such beautiful teams. I have such an amazing team that's working for me, such an amazing team. I began 2 years ago with these Saturday webinars. And then as the Saturday webinars were going on, and then suddenly I received in guidance. Mind you, I have zero doership from an investment banker who used to hold large teams and be responsible for them, be responsible for outcomes, be responsible for results. From that place to this, where unless I receive it in guidance, I don't move my head. So the guidance came saying, okay, create this Expect Miracles program. Okay, automatically. Did I know what to create? No, we were sitting in the middle of the lockdown. I didn't know how to create a website. I didn't know how to create videos. And yet everything got shown to me, the entire path got shown to me in guidance. It happens to all of us. There are so many of us who are sitting these days and painting. There are so many of us are doing things, way beyond what we thought was possible for us. And how is that happening? By being tuned into the frequency of answers, by being tuned into my energies, by being tuned and asking to money, okay, how does this need to be done? And money will help you do it. Well, surely he helped me create this program. The program began 2 years ago. Today we celebrate 2 years of completion of that program. But the program began 2 years ago. I was able to find everything to create a website, to create assignments, to create videos with those assignments, and everything went out. The first month got over and I was told, okay, ask anybody if they would want to be part of this story, if they want to be guides. I thought, who'd want to be guides for such a program? Well, out of 30, about 15 people raised their hands and said, okay, we want to be. What started out as 15 people 2 years ago, we're a team of 175. There are 175 guides to the program and constantly growing. And what the most amazing part that I find within the program is constantly, somebody has to give up their slot, somebody needs time out, somebody needs somebody else to step in. They're not able to, they've got 28 things going. And without even a snap, without just this much time, there are people and people who are willing to hold each other's hand, and they are willing to help each other out in these programs. I understand that all of this is getting created from one space. What is that space? What is that one common frequency? That frequency is the frequency of Meenal, the frequency of abundance. And so there is abundant guides, there is abundant help, there is abundance of everything. There's abundance of joy. As one person sits out, one person sits in. There is so much of joy that's getting created each time. Where is that happening from? Because it's happening from that frequency of abundance. The team that gets created, the team that gets put together is in the frequency of abundance. Your team, where is it getting created from? From your mistrust, from your doubt frequency. So the first job I will tell you to do, even before doership, is to release your mistrust, to begin looking at all the places that you hold mistrust. They are not capable enough. Oh, well, so many people ask me. I do a guide training program, which lasts for about 30 minutes or maybe an hour, out of which the training part is about 10 minutes. And then I say, okay, people, you're all ready. You can be a guide now. 10 minutes training for this program, and then everybody comes on as guide and sits in as guide with 10 minutes training. Somebody asked me, how can aren't you scared that somebody will speak the wrong answers? Somebody will do the wrong thing. Somebody's life can get ruined from the wrong answer. I said, no. And here is where doership comes in. I said, no, I don't control the program. I've handed it over to somebody who knows much better how to control the program. The program is controlled by money. That's the guru frequency that I hand over everything to. And I know that I might be limited in my thinking. I will have judgments. This person is only 20 years old. How can I make them a guide? This person is 70 years old, but they speak too much of their own experience. How can I make them a guide? So I remove myself from that place of mistrust, and I simply trust money. And so beautiful that over the last 2 years, each and every time, people have come and told me, guides, my guides were the best. My guides were the best. Again and again, everybody says, my guides were the best. No matter who the guides are, my guides are the best. What makes that happen? It's my frequency of trust that I can let them be, and the program is looking even more beautiful. It's your frequency of mistrust that you need to look at first and release that, so that each of your people, the one that you are doubting right now, once you break your doubt frequency, you will see the very same people act out their roles very, very differently. So first part is that. Let me just see who keeps unmuting. Manjeet ji, please stay muted. I'm muting you. Yes, thank you. All right. So the first part is, how can you trust? How can you manage that team more? The work. There is no team outside. The team is within. Your frequency will constantly, in every job that you go to, your frequency will keep manifesting such teams for you. Whether the team constitutes of one person or of 1,000 people, it'll be the same story. If you don't trust, then it's you that doesn't trust. So you got to look more within rather than outside, saying how to manage that team. First, learn to manage your own frequency. And that's where the answer is. How to look into doership? Well, I think I have answered this question for you about 7 times over in the last 3 to 4 years. The answer will constantly remain the same. Either you can be limited or you can be limitless. In your limited sense, you have to do all the work. You have to do the management. In your limitless sense, you can hand it over to your highest frequency of trust. You can hand it over to your higher frequency of joy. Where am I asking you to hand it over to when I say hand it over to the frequency of Meenal? What is the frequency of Meenal? The frequency of Meenal is that of abundance, but you don't want to hand it over to anything outside of you. Why? Because you mistrust. You say, no, if I hand this over, the work will not get done. And guess what? That limited notion becomes your 100% truth. The more and more you sit with mistrust, the more you cannot hand over controls outside of you, the more this becomes your truth, that only you can do, otherwise nobody else will do a good job. Somebody came to me a few years ago, and I always bring that conversation into whenever time comes of doership, because I find it just cute. All of us investment bankers, hedge fund managers, etc., we always come from this space of doership. I came from so much doership, I cannot even tell you. I didn't even know there was a concept of doership. It was just so natural. Of course I have to do it. If I don't do it, who the hell will do it? That was my concept. So similarly, somebody came to me 2 years ago and they said, I have this hedge fund and I manage this team, etc. But if you call yourself the lady of abundance, the frequency of abundance, then I haven't been able to do a deal of $1 billion. I haven't been able to do that deal in the past 10 years, despite several attempts at it. It always fails in the last moment. How can, if you call yourself that frequency, why don't you make sure that I get that deal done in 30 days? I'm attending your Expect Miracles program, and that's my expectation. And I said, off you go. I'm not interested in doing that $1 billion deal for you. You don't understand what abundance looks like. $1 billion in your bank account, not about abundance. So I'm going to let you go. You go out there, you sit out, you ask money, whether he even wants you to get that $1 billion deal or not. And then if those 30 days are going to give you that deal, then you stay in the program. Otherwise, I refund your money. You take your money and you go. Person went, sat in guidance, asked money, and money said, well, for 10 years, the deal hasn't happened. It's not going to happen in these 30 days either. It's not going to happen. And yet, go ahead and do these 30-day program. Do the 30-day program is what money said. This person, I have to give it to him. This person listened to the guidance. It's always going to be a choice whether we listen to guidance or not. This person managed to listen to guidance, and they did the 30-day program. And I say in that 30-day program, I always talk about it, let go of desires. Let go of desires. Desires only come from lack. They only come from lack. Desires, if the underlying frequency of the desire is lack, then it'll only keep producing more lack. That's all. It'll keep producing more lack. I don't see desires, even fulfillment of desire, leading to abundance. I just see the abundance coming for a few minutes, and then the next new lack story will get built up. We see it all the time in the corporate world, right? That every time, the minute we feel, okay, now this year, great, I did all of these results, this is great, I met my expectations, I met my goals, I met everything. Then what happens? The next day, the boss says, okay, we have to put that behind us. And here is the goal sheet for the next year. So every time now you'll have to keep running after something else as well. The only thing that I ask you to do you stop running? Do you stop creating the results? The only thing I ask you to do is, from where are you running? As you run after one deal, after one transaction, firstly, even as you're running after the transaction, that's your job. But even as you do that, take a look within. Are you running in lack, or are you running while you're sitting in a place of contentment? One is being in a role of whatever role that you have in the office, whatever role that you have at home. And the other is to be totally taking that role to heart and then living that role, being the Arjuna. Where are you coming from is what I constantly ask of you. And so as we come to doership of that person was actually much surprised I was, because doership is one such concept that it just takes a very long time, to understand that this is also doership. To want anything is also part of doership. But that person was able to let go. They worked on themselves and they were able to let go. I don't keep in touch with most people, but he would. Every time I went to Delhi, he would make it a point to come to the airport, even if just to see me for 2 minutes. And I couldn't understand, there's not even a point to do that. Why would you even do that? But he came for his own joy. And in one such trip, he told me, he said, oh, by the way, I just wanted to tell you that I did do a deal. And oh, no, he didn't tell me about the deal. He says, we're all sitting in lockdown, and without going anywhere, without doing anything, simply working on myself, my hedge fund has become top 5 in Asia. Simply working on myself. So I said, okay, great. And now as you look at that, let me give you the next step as well. Every time you go into the meeting, hand the meeting over to me. Just hand over the meeting to me. You don't be in the meeting. Whatever, watch it from outside, you hand it over to me. And then he said, how do I do that? I said, just even before you enter the meeting, you introduce me to the energies of this you and say, okay, this is the new person who's going to take care of the meeting. The minute that you're able to do that, you sign out from the results. You actually sign out, right? Because no matter what the result is good, great, Meenal did it. If the result is bad, good, Meenal did it. So you don't take the onus of it on yourself. That's where the doership gets given away. The doership was given away and that person would hand over the meetings to me, no matter how the meetings went. In any case, half the meetings go this way, the other half go that way. I don't even pay attention to the outside, but that's what I told him to do, and he was able to do that. A few months passed, and he was very happy to report to me that he did the $1 billion deal in the middle of the lockdown. So, and he says now, he says, not just that, I've started to hand over to you everything. A call comes from the son, a call comes from the wife, everything says, there is not a single aspect of my life that I haven't handed over to you. You are just taking care of everything. Why do I need to do anything? That's called the other spectrum of doership. It's called surrender. It's called letting go of the outcome. It's called bringing yourself to equanimity. And it's easy when you think, okay, somebody else is going to do it for me. I don't need to get into it. And magical stuff happens because again and again, as I point out, even as I tell you, give that meeting to me. What is my energy that you're handing over the meeting to? Is the frequency of abundance. From the frequency of lack, you might not even want to give over the frequency, your work, to the frequency of abundance. So the first thing that you have to do is to let go of your lack, your wishes, your desire. When the $1 billion deal happened, I asked him and I said, how does that make you feel? And he says, it's good. It's nice. But I am no longer focused on that. I knew that. And that's why that deal happened with abundance in so much ease. Because the outside manifestations, $1 billion, $2 billion, $500,000, whether losses or great profits, all of those become so incidental when your finger is within you and you are able to put yourself in joy every moment. When you put yourself in joy, then outside more joy will get created. When you put yourself in doership, in control, I want to control this outcome, I want to control that outcome. Outcomes are being controlled from fear, anxiety, lack. Guess what more you want to create yourself? Exactly that is happening. You want to create more lack in your life? Sure, keep controlling. You want to create more anger, anxiety, fear in your life? Sure, go ahead, keep controlling the outcomes. More of the outcomes controlled will bring you to more of the frequency underneath that. Okay, somebody says to me, I keep eating whatever I want and release all the fears and labeling all that I eat as Amrit, then is that okay for my body? In this case, how is eating nutrient-rich food of any use? May as well eat any junk I want and release the program. You gave the answer. Junk and non-junk. What is it? It's our judgment, isn't it? Good-looking body of these parameters. What was those parameters? 36, 24, 36. That's the best looking body. These parameters, are they judgment or are they not judgment? What is it that wants to make you stay with a good body, a nutritious filled body? The minute we think of whether we should eat this or not eat this, in that moment, in that judgment, we are trying to control our body for some reason. And that reason is different for different people. Some people are fearful of diseases that will arise from non-nutritious food. Then they're going to be looking at more nutritious. So that would be fear. Some of them are looking that, okay, if I don't have this kind of a body, then I will not be looked upon as good looking. That could be, lack of love or whatever, so different reasons for different people. You can look at what is the reason that you are looking at some food and judging. So may as well eat any kind of food. But you already said, what if I call any kind of food as Amrit? Either you're calling it Amrit and not believing that it's Amrit, this is junk food, but I'm going to call it Amrit. Or you are saying that it's Amrit and believing that it's Amrit. If you're believing it's Amrit, then the energy is of love towards whatever food you're eating because it's Amrit. If you're just calling it Amrit and taking it down with a pinch of salt, saying, okay, because Meenal says, so I got to call it Amrit and I got to eat it like that. So I'm going to eat something as Amrit, but I really wish that I was having cucumbers instead of Golgappas. Okay, then so be it. Now you're just playing with words. I'm not interested in the words. When I say everything is Amrit, look at the frequency underneath those words. Look at the frequency when you call something Amrit. Are you feeling the Amritness of it, or are you feeling the fearfulness of it? Take a look at that frequency. You can say anything, but if you haven't looked at the frequency, then the work is not done. The work is in the frequency. The work is not in eating. The work is not in eating healthy, unhealthy. The work is not there at all. For the last 3 years, I have been sitting in this program of eating whatever comes to me. And so many programs of food have been brought to my notice to say, okay, this healthy eating to stay in shape. What is the shape? As there's a joke, round is a shape. But then do you want the round shape? No, you have a liking towards another shape and not towards the round shape. Now you got to look at the judgment of round versus square versus rhombus or whatever those shapes are. So take a look at the shape, take a look at what outside conditioning, what judgments are you still attached to. And from that space, your fears, your anxieties, your judgments, your expectations, etc., will start to come up. And once those are up, the job is in the energy to be able to see within and to see where all we are limiting ourselves. We are limiting ourselves. This food is good, this food is not good. Now you've suddenly limited yourself to what is Amrit and what is not Amrit. I might as well eat junk food. Sure. Are you going to be able to say junk Amrit food? Are you just going to be able to say it in one breath, knowing that this junk is Amrit? Then either it is Amrit or it is junk. You decide which part you are paying more attention to. Because food is just food then. As a matter of fact, then at so many different times, you will be asked to release food and not be on food and be only on air. And that will be fine too. You will recognize that you don't need to be on food. Now, if you're thinking that, oh, great, I can just be on air so that, oh, maybe I'll lose some weight. You'd be surprised. You might be simply on air, not eating any food, not drinking any water, and you'll put on more weight. That's what has happened to me. So I share from my experience, not eating anything, not drinking anything for 10 days, 15 days. And then what happens? Ooh, the weighing scale moves up because food, the programs need to be broken, nothing else really. So money is out there to break all my programs of limitedness. Money is there to break all my programs of limitedness so that I can be more limitless. And that's all that it is. So any programs that I have of food, he'll break them. Okay. I was looking for mukti. So cute. But this time, program as a rule of guide, I have no more looking for mukti. Just to look within what is going within. And that is mukti. It's mukti from the outside world. When you put all your focus within, the entire universe that is within is creating the outside, then there is nothing more to seek mukti from. You were trying to get mukti from the outside, Mahabharat, but the minute you look within, all of that mukti gets sorted. Now you simply have to look at such a small little program, such a small little question. What am I feeling each time? What am I feeling? Let me just do this. Let me just release this. Let me just do this. Everything outside is simply an actor. Do I pay attention to the actor? Okay, maybe 2%, not the 98%. This time, only 2%. So I pay attention to the actor. I receive from them all the emotions. And now I got my work to do, which is to clear myself of all of these emotions in the now, bring myself to equanimity. Neither attached to this nor attached to that outcome. What is that? That's mukti right there. What stops us from mukti is this, the attachment to outcome. The attachment to this outcome. Oh my God, I want to do this so that I can get that outcome. Some people even come looking, I want to look within so that I can change his life. I can do that. I can be the Messiah in the world, whatever, whatever. Nothing is needed. Only looking within is needed. Even if you want to be the savior of the world, take a look. Where is the world that wants to be saved? It's only here. It's only here. And if you want to save the world, take a look at what are you experiencing when you look outside at the world. Are you experiencing helplessness? Are you experiencing fear? Are you experiencing lack of how bad the world needs to be saved? Well, if all of those are the frequencies, then the job is within. The job is to release your frequencies, and suddenly you will find that the outside world looks beautiful. It is perfect in every which way, the way it is. There are stories playing out, not purposelessly. There are stories playing out because from each of those stories, journeys are happening. People's journeys through judgments, people's journeys through expectations. All of these journeys are not purposeless. They are for a purpose. They are for a reason. They are for moving this journey forward, moving the experiences forward. They'll all come to the same point of the energy space. They'll all come there. Maybe today is the day, maybe today is not the day, but they're all coming there. Don't get caught up in these small stories that are playing out in front of you. The larger story is that there's a huge, beautiful design. The story is that we don't understand the design. So there's no need to understand the design, only the need to look within and to see, okay, what am I feeling? Can I bring myself to peace? That's it. Story over. Bring yourself to peace. You will see more peace outside. You will be at peace inside. Outside will reflect that of you. So beautiful. Okay. Abundance of love. Yes, there is abundance of love everywhere you look. Wonderful. Okay, people. And with that, okay, we might do 5 minutes of meditation, though my mind is blank. I can't think of any place to go for meditation, but just for the heck of it, let's move there. A big breath in and release. A very big breath in and release. Take a deep breath in and speak to yourself. I am the frequency of Meenal. I am the frequency of Meenal. And with the next breath in, simply being in the space of the sun. See yourself as the sun. You are the sun. Bright and sunshiny. That's you. You're so bright, so beautiful, illuminating everywhere that you go. Your light you shed. And you look at your rays, so bright, so white. You are the sun. You are the sun. And as you sit, noticing your own warmth, your own light, your own shine, you are the one that illuminates your world. And in a moment, you observe you are the sun and you see this one beautiful cloud just coming by you. Look at that cloud. It's a dark cloud. It holds some rain. You are the sun, and yet for a few minutes, maybe for a few seconds, the cloud manages to hide you. And notice you're still the sun with all the rays. And yet the cloud is out there with some rain pouring, some rain pouring at some place. And that's the sun, a little bit subdued, but you are the sun. Your rays right now, not so sharp, because there's this cloud in your life, this cloud in your life that's raining right now and reducing your shine. And so you wait a little, you observe the cloud and you see yourself. Where is my power? You ask. The power is right with you only. Your rays haven't lost their power. The power is with you. And yes, there is a moment of a shower, but that's okay. You will be back to being the sun again. The rain is momentary. You are the sun. Bring this notion of being the sun back to yourself. In this moment, yes, maybe something rained on you, but so what? You still remain the sun. And as you are thinking of your shine, your rays, look, the rain is now over. But look how beautiful it is that whatever poured on you, there is some rain in the air. And from that, this beautiful rainbow is getting created. This beautiful rainbow from that cloud, the rain in that cloud, and your rays, your vibrance, your shine has created this beautiful rainbow. The rainbow is all your emotions, every aspect. It's you, it's your shine, it's your rays on that water. A few drops of water, and you get to see all the aspects of you. That outside water was needed by you so that you could see these beautiful colors that are all part of your shine. This beautiful rainbow, all just from your light and a little bit of water drops. See how beautiful you were. You just didn't know it, did you? Through that little droplets, you are able to see your own beauty across the universe. See that rainbow. It's you. That's you in all your splendor. You're not just the sun. You are the rainbow as well. All your emotions, all those beautiful colors of the rainbow, you accept. They're all part of you. They belong to that shining, luminous you. You are that. Sometimes a cloud will just show you the many different colors. And then you'll be back to being the shiny sun that you are. Sit and observe yourself as you emit, radiate that beautiful shine again. The water droplets no more there. The rainbow showed you who you are. You are that beautiful rainbow just as much as you are this beautiful shining ball of sun. Enjoy your space. You are both. You are everything. You are all. Enjoy your space. Enjoy your shine. Don't let a cloud just stay there forever. It's only momentary. Look at it, observe it. This too shall pass. You are the sun. Om Mani, Om Mani, Om Mani. Short, simple, sweet, sunny, meditation for you. Okay, everyone. Lots and lots of love. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, Meenal.
Lots of
Bye.
love.
Normally.
Bye.